is Sarah Theory, where sometimes I tell stories about things that happened to me in previous jobs. One of the many jobs I had before my current administrative type job was a teacher. I was a music teacher for 4th to 8th grade for 1 year and kindergarten to 5th grade another year. I didn't like it. It was miserable. I'm glad I'm not a teacher anymore. But during my first year of teaching, something happened that really sealed the deal and really showed me that this was not something I wanted to be doing at all. I'll set the stage for you. I was 22, 23 years old, walking into my first teaching job in a really difficult school district. Had just finished my first day. My principal comes in all loud and aggressive, and he's like, "All right, we're gonna have a band." So after that day, I was nervous, but I was like, okay, we can get a band going. Monday went all right. Tuesday went all right. Wednesday was the day that things fell apart. I had the 8th graders for the first time. Now, some of those 8th graders were 14, 15 years old. Big guys, taller than me. I was terrified of them. Of course, if you're a scared teacher, the kids will pick up on that in 2 seconds flat. They were talking over me, eating snacks, walking around, ignoring me completely. And I was just standing there in the front of the room, my little dress clothes and shoes, like, what is happening? I don't even know. So they started getting rowdier and rowdier. 2 of the boys started chasing each other around the room, jumping over tables and knocking desks around. And I'm sitting there terrified. And I look up, and it's the principal and one of the security guards. Everyone goes quiet. I'm thinking, this is the worst day of my life. Nothing will ever top this. I'm going to go home and die. The principal looks at the class. He yells at them first. Then he looks at me and he says, "Don't you have anything for them to do?" Yes, we have plenty to do. We can do worksheets. I have papers we can do on the videos we've been watching. Here, pass these out. And I'm just flailing around, terrified. And the principal looks at me like, then he just says, "The next time I come in here, you guys better be learning about music." So after he left, the class was quiet. They still didn't listen to me, but at this point, I didn't care. I just wanted to get out of there. So I went home, I was crying. I was like, I'm going to quit. But I ended up staying because I was like, because, it was a job. What else did I have to do? That's what my college degree was in. So it's like, you got to do it. And the next week, the principal sort of apologized. Not really. He brought in the chair of the music department and he took me to his office with him. And he gave me some brand new instruments, which was nice, but what I really needed was help in classroom management and help in lesson planning. He didn't give me none of that. So, without really any help, I quickly developed a really thick skin. I had no qualms with yelling at the kids. I had a whistle I kept around my neck that I would blow sometimes when they would really get rowdy. I didn't care. I was like, you know what? They don't listen to me unless I yell, so that's what I'm going to do. Meanwhile, this terrible principal, I didn't give him a name, did I? I'm going to call it Mr. Johnson. That's what I call it, Mr. Johnson. I remember one day I had lunch duty, which all teachers should know is the bane of your existence. Every single day, lunch duty for about half hour, 45 minutes, then recess duty for another half hour, 45 minutes. Every single day. No rotating schedule. It was me, the science teacher, one of the, ESL teachers, I believe. I'm probably getting all of these titles wrong. And one of the computer teachers. And I think one of the art teachers. They were really good people. I like working with them. But all of us, not the people who weren't the main classroom teachers, got stuck doing lunch duty every day of the week. So one day I'm in there trying to get these kids to sit down. These 4th and 5th graders who are running around the whole room because lunch is synonymous with get up and run around and play with your friends. And of course, nobody's doing anything. Teachers are tired because they want to have a break. The kids are tired because they've been sitting still all day. And the principal's over there by the door eating a pretzel. I look over at him. "Do you see what's happening here? Help me." I didn't say that. I should have. Then he finally walked over and was like, Hey kids, sit down. The worst thing he did was mess up me getting my permanent teaching certification. See, in New Jersey, you need to have 3 classroom observations by your principal before you get your permanent certifications, which means that the principal comes into your classroom while you're teaching, fills out a worksheet, says, okay, this is what you've been doing in your class, this is your lesson, these are the good parts, these are the parts you need to improve on. I had 2 observations. I didn't realize I needed 3 until the ends of the school year when I was wondering why I hadn't gotten my certification yet. When I contacted him about it, of course, he never replied. The vice principal was like, you gotta stay here till next school year in October. I said, no, I'm out of here. Come on. Really? In his defense, Mr. Johnson had broken his leg, so he was out for a long time, but still, you'd think that he would assign somebody to cover his duties in his absence. Nope, that would have been common sense. Common sense was very, very far away. So after that year, I vowed I would never teach again. But then I taught for another year. That is another story, though. All I gotta say is, if you are ever in a position where you are in charge of other people, please don't yell at them on their 3rd day on the job, especially not in front of their students. Please take them aside, ask them if they need help, do the things that a good principal is supposed to do to help, support their teachers.